There are about 1,000,001 pieces of advice everyone spouts at you when you're a first-year teacher. Helpful hints about that curriculum and this activity and the other classroom management plan you should definitely subscribe to that will magically fix your classroom. And while that's all well and good, the things I would go back in time and tell myself has little to do with what curriculum or concept to teach and much more about how unexpected life was as a first-year teacher. I was overcome with all of these changes, all these pattern shifts that I didn't deal with well at the time. And although these feelings haven't totally gone away, I found a few ways to cope and make things better. So let's go back to a time together where I traded my trumpet in for a tuning fork, where I was about to embark on a crazy journey that I couldn't even imagine. Here are some things I would tell myself if I could turn back time. And I know we're all singing it in our head, so let's just go ahead and go, if I could turn back time. Make sure you get the shoulders moving too. Okay, so the first thing I would tell myself as a first-year teacher is you will be tired. I mean, yes, if you move from college life, even student teaching, to teacher life, the shift hits you hard and fast. But it's not just now I have to be at the place and do the things kind of tired, but more like you have to run a marathon and then go home and get ready to do it all again tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. Now, trust me, I've run a few half marathons in my day, but it's been a minute. And although it's exhausting, the new teacher tired is real. This hits all of us, like fill in the blank year of teaching. The shift from summer break back to the classroom and right into the first week leaves all of us dying to catch up. You will pour your heart and soul into your classroom and your students right out of the gate, no doubt wanting to be the best teacher you can be, and you should want to be the best teacher that you can be, but not to the detriment of your body being completely run down. It's hard to catch up once you hit the ground running that first week of school, because after the first week, there's the second, and this event to plan for or that concert, and it's a lot. And it's not only prepping for the big things. The day-to-day as a music teacher is constantly up and moving. There's little to no downtime except for when you maybe get a few minutes to plan or eat lunch. Other than that, you see a lot of kids consistently each and every day. Every year, when I step back into the classroom, I inevitably lose my voice and take a nap when I get home from work every day, if my children let me. All this to say, it's the best kind of tired. You will pour your heart and soul into being the best teacher that you can be because you became a music teacher for all that you could give to those kids. Your body does get used to it and you learn to manage your energy better. So what are a few things that might help? The first is take a nap every day or at least rest. Even if I didn't go to sleep, I took about 30 minutes to sit in silence, close my eyes, and decompress the minute I got home from school my first year. The dishes can wait. Number 2, drink water. It's hard to run on caffeine and sugar alone. And yes, sometimes it's hard to find the time to run to the restroom, but reach for water as much as you can. Your body and your voice will thank you. Number 3, take some time to breathe. If you're new here, this is something that I say a lot. Taking the first 5 minutes of your planning or your lunch or whatever break you might have may seem counterintuitive, but giving yourself a little break where you can throughout the day is invaluable for your state of mind. The second thing I would tell myself as a first-year music teacher is you will be overwhelmed. No matter what kind of first-year teacher you are, there's a lot. Likely lots of new life changes, a newfound sense of independence, a paycheck, a real person job, and then aside from the fact that your whole world is just different, you started this new job with all this other stuff you have to do. And then as a music teacher, that generally is multiplied by the number of grades you have to teach. You'll write a lesson plan for each and every grade. You'll learn the standards and create assessments and do the best to learn each and every child's name in your classes, which is likely the whole entire school. That's not to mention the performances, the extra stuff like choir, orff ensembles, etc., running the sounds for school assemblies or DJing field day and whatever else falls under the umbrella of music teacher at your campus. Yes, it's a lot of responsibility. Yes, you will be working with everyone, all the students, all the teachers, all the staff. But guys, you'll be working with everyone. One of my favorite parts about being a music teacher is that I see every kid in the building. I work with every grade, and I am central to the community because of that. What an overwhelming, special, important job. So what helps with this overwhelm? When it comes to your classroom, assign seats. Even if you want to be free and give kids agency, this is not the place to do it, at least in the beginning of the year. Having assigned seats in your classroom puts you in control of behavior management and allows you to move kids around when you need to and easily keep track of assessments, and most importantly, learn their names. The second thing to help with the overwhelm is to find resources that already have some sort of curriculum map or outline. Search blogs, Pinterest, Teachers Pay Teachers, podcasts, subscribe to newsletters, and look for things like the free sequencing roadmap linked down below that can help you figure out what to teach next. Being a first-year teacher is so much different than when I first started out. Most of these amazing online resources hadn't even been created yet, so take advantage of them. That's why they're there, and that's why people create them. If I could turn back time and tell myself something else as a first-year music teacher, the third thing I would say is you will feel isolated. I remember when I first started teaching, I was so stinking excited to have my own music classroom down at the end of the hall where nobody would be walking by and my kids could make music freely without worrying about disturbing testing or the library or anybody else. And as somebody who loves being under the radar, it was seriously the cherry on top. But as the first weeks of school went on, I realized that my geographic location in the building was super indicative of how I felt as a member of the building and the school. Yes, like I mentioned above, being the music teacher is amazing because you get to work with everybody on the campus. And although you may be on a team with your art teacher and your PE coaches, it can feel very lonely to be the only one in the music room at the end of the hall in the school. It doesn't mean you are destined to be the lonely music teacher. It just means that since your network isn't as built in, at least at the campus level, you have to work a little harder to find your people. So what helps not feel so isolated? The first is find your community on campus, in your district, or even online. Yes, some of the music teacher Facebook groups are a little overwhelming, but there are a couple like the Anachronistic Insiders group or the Music Crew Collaborative with genuine people who want to help and share with one another. If you are looking for your own community and you want a little taste of PD, I highly recommend you check out the Anachronistic community linked down below. But these groups are a great place to begin looking for like-minded and friendly music teacher friends. The second thing I would say to help you not feel quite so isolated is to eat lunch in the staff lounge. Okay, so this is a thing that I don't do on a daily basis, but at least 2 to 3 times a week, I would try to eat lunch with other teachers. This is really important to build genuine relationships and not just exchange emails or conversations about the latest program practice or whatever it might be. Take this time to interact with your colleagues. The next thing I would say to help you not feel so isolated is to do your best to work with people when it comes to changing rehearsal times, working on grade level programs, and any other interactions you might have with your staff. If the only experience colleagues have with you have been negative or difficult, it will only lead to you feeling more and more like you're on an island. The fourth thing I would say to my music teacher self as a first-year teacher is you will second guess yourself. If it's your first year teaching or you're at a new campus, there are likely traditions and expectations and experiences that came before you that can be loved or despised or expected at the least. Aside from that, everything's new. The kids, the lessons, whatever systems your school has in place for discipline or otherwise will be totally unknown for the first couple of weeks. You're bound to make some mistakes, have miscommunications, or need to ask questions as a first year teacher. Do not feel bad about any of it. You are strong, you are capable, and you were hired to make music with children. Aside from keeping them safe, that's your number one job. As long as you are doing that to the best of your ability, you are doing everything you're supposed to do. So here's what will help. Just do the best you can with the information that you have at the time. Let everything else go. End of story, period. So we've been through like 4 different things that don't feel so super warm and fuzzy as a first year teacher. But here is the 5th thing that I didn't know that I would tell myself as a first-year teacher. You will be overcome with joy, love, and purpose. Yes, you will not feel this way all the time. I mean, I already talked about the 4 other things that you will definitely feel in your first year. Embarking on this career path is not for the faint of heart, but what you put into teaching, you will get out of teaching. Remember that thing I said about pouring yourself into your kids? Might not happen straight away, but you will get all of that back tenfold. Here's what helps you kind of get that warm, fuzzy feeling. Your job, the thing that does pay your bills, is the thing that you get to do every day. You get to make music with kids. Keep that at the forefront of everything you do.